Well, the POCO X5 Pro is here in the studio and I've been using it for over a week right now, and boy do I have some thoughts. Speaking of thoughts, as you can see, I'm already in my home right now. I'm recording from the comfort of my own house because there's a lot of traveling involved, a lot of testing and all. So I just decided I'll just sit down comfortably in my chair at the comfort of my house and just talk to you guys comfortably about my thoughts about the POCO X5 Pro. So, without wasting any time, you guys have already read the title. This is Warren from GTR and you're watching my 7-day review of the POCO X5 Pro. Now keep in mind when I say 7-day, because this is not a complete in-depth review like we usually do. We did not have that device with us for that long period of a time, and there are still a couple of things, couple of issues in the POCO X5 Pro that I found that definitely needs ironing out. But in the meanwhile, since the device is launching today, I just wanted to share my thoughts with you and whether you should actually be excited about this device or not. The short answer, you should be. So without wasting any time, let's just jump right into it. Alright, starting off with the design of the POCO X5 Pro, the phone weighs at 181 grams and is 7.9 mm thin. Now it's not the slimmest POCO out there, but it's definitely in the range of there. Now I really like the design of the last year's POCO X4 Pro because that was the first phone from the POCO series to go with the AMOLED series. And with the POCO X5 Pro, you are definitely seeing the same trend going forward. Now I'll talk about the display in a bit, but let's just focus on the design here. Now there's no denying the fact that POCO X5 Pro is nothing but the Redmi Note 12 Pro Speed Edition that was already available in China. But I do like the fact that POCO has added its own selection of colors here, especially the yellow color that we have here. I mean, it truly speaks POCO in its own way and it definitely looks very flashy. But at the same time, it's quite premium as well, thanks to a Gorilla Glass 5 protection up front. And while the frame here and the back are plastic, the in-hand feel of the device is actually pretty good. Also, while we're on the topic of protection, the POCO X5 Pro comes with IP53 dust and splash resistant coating, which definitely comes in handy. Now, one more thing that I like here about the design is that the edges here are a little bit in the middle of being a flat edge and a curved edge. I mean, it's not as refined as a proper curved edge would be, but at the same time it's not as boxy as a proper flat edge design is, similar to the likes of, well, the Xiaomi 11i series, for example. Now when it comes to connectivity, POCO has you covered. Of course, you get a dual SIM card tray, but then you also get a 3.5 headphone jack and an IR blaster. So yeah, as far as the design goes, the POCO X5 Pro definitely checks a lot of the boxes. Of course, it looks kind of similar to the Redmi Note 12 Pro series, but let's be honest, that is kind of where the origin lies in. But at the same time, POCO has added its own splash of colors and its logo, of course, on top, and the device does have its own slight bit of differentiating identity, and personally I do admire it. Now moving along, let's talk about the display here. The POCO X5 Pro comes with a 6.67 inch 120Hz AMOLED display, which is HDR10 Plus certified, and it also comes with Dolby Vision certification. Now I'll talk about the Dolby Vision part first, because I mean, when it comes to content consumption, this display is one of the best ones out there. Inside Netflix also, you can see the device comes with Widevine L1 certification right out of the box, and both HDR content and Dolby Vision are supported inside the app. And the POCO X5 Pro also comes with a dual stereo speaker here that really adds on to the cinematic experience. So whatever kind of content that you're consuming on the device, everything looks and sounds great on the POCO X5 Pro. Now, of course, you get a 120Hz refresh rate display here as well, which in itself is very smooth to use. Just keep in mind that this is not an LTPO display, but at the same time, at this price segment, what else can you ask for? Also, I did start off this video talking about some slight issues, right? Well, one of those issues is in the display department itself. See, while the Snapdragon 778 is a very good processor and the display in itself is certified for all sorts of high quality playback, one issue that I noticed is that when you try and playback 4K 60fps HDR footage inside YouTube, the playback is very stuttery and very laggy. Now, just to be clear, this is something that we noticed on the Nothing Phone 1 as well when it launched. And in fact, this problem did persist for the first 2-3 weeks, after which nothing did fix it. So of course, I have high hopes from POCO, considering that I'm sure they will fix it. But at the same time, like I said, they have these issues at the time of launch, or at least in our review units. Alright, now moving along, let's talk about the camera here. Now the POCO X5 Pro comes with a 108MP primary sensor covered with an 8MP ultra-wide sensor and a 2MP macro sensor. Up front you have a 16MP selfie shooter. Now without going too much into depth here, I will just say that the POCO X5 Pro definitely does have a lot of detail here and also captures images in a more vibrant format. You of course see a hint of saturation here and there. It's not oversaturated, but at the same time, it's definitely not as close to reality as most of the other phones would click. But at the same time, this means that you can just directly share these photos across social media without having to think twice or having to manually edit them. Now moving on to videos, the POCO X5 Pro can record up to 4K 30fps or 1080p 60fps. But the thing to note here is that the stabilization here works only at 1080p 30fps. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Now, as far as the video performance is concerned, the stabilization is decent. It's not amazing by any means, but at the same time, the good part here is that the image is quite detailed, like the footage is quite detailed, the footage is quite sharp, and it should be enough for most of the users out there. Alright, now moving along, let's talk about the performance here. Now the POCO X5 Pro comes with the beloved Snapdragon 778 5G processor coupled with UFS 2.2 storage. The benchmarks are on your screen and the performance is exactly what you would expect out of a Snapdragon 778 processor device. Now the scores are really high, but the best part here is that the performance is quite stable as well. I mean, if you want to game on this for hours, not only can you game at the highest settings, well, not at the highest settings, but a mix of medium and high settings, but at the same time, it's a sustained performance. So whether you're gaming for 40 minutes or for 1 hour 40 minutes or for 2 hours or 2 hours 40 minutes, whatever your point is, you can game easily on this without having to worry about the device heating up. Now, of course, the performance is aided by the software department, but that is one area where I feel the POCO X5 Pro still has room for improvement. So the thing is, it does come with the latest MIUI 14, which is great, but it comes with MIUI 14 based on Android 12, which is not that good. I mean, sure, a lot of consumers won't really mind it because the thing with Xiaomi and MIUI in general is that they don't really follow Android updates or Android version per se. In fact, most of the features that Android 13 offers are already baked inside MIUI 14. So in essence, you get a flavor of Android 13 without officially being on Android 13. And for most of the end consumers, that's pretty much it. They don't really care about it that much as they would about security updates or features. And when it comes to features, I mean, MIUI is one of the best ones out there. We already have a video dedicated on our Tips and Tricks channel talking about some of the best features about MIUI 14, and should definitely check out that video. Now, POCO is promising a very nice update schedule here, but at the same time, when you're starting with a version behind, so you're essentially limiting the actual number of updates. So it's kind of a gray area, I think, or misled marketing. But I mean, what I know is that I've met a lot of end users, not from the tech community, and the fact of the matter is that they don't really even care about all of these things. As long as the phone is up to date with all of the features working and there are no bugs out there, everything is fine. And from what I can gather in my 1 week of usage, the POCO X5 Pro's software is almost bug-free. I mean, the only issue that I could find is the HDR playback that I highlighted already. But apart from that, the experience has been super smooth, without any lags, without any issues, no bugs or random crashes or anything. So yeah, the experience has been good. Lastly, we have the battery life. Now, the POCO X5 Pro comes with a huge 5000 mAh battery with 67 watt MMT charge. And of course, the good part here is that the charger is actually included in the box. Now, POCO claims that it takes about 1 hour to take the device from 0 to 100%. But the good part here is that you can easily still use it for top-up charges, which is kind of the main point of fast charging. And yeah, I just want to reiterate on this fact once more. A lot of people just confuse their mind that, when it comes to fast charging, how long does it take to go like from 0 to 100%? I think when you actually start using the device, you're not really bothered by it that much. What matters more is the top-up charge. Like, I have phones with 120 watts of charging as well, and I don't really care about going from 0 to 100%. I care more about what will a 15-minute charge get me. And a 15-minute charge on the POCO X5 Pro will get you anywhere between 25 to 30%, and that's more than enough to go almost half a day. So yeah, I mean, in a case of emergency, even a small slight charge can help you go a long way. So that, of course, is great. With that being said, that's not to say that I'm trying to cover up for anything. The POCO X5 Pro's battery life is phenomenal. 5000 mAh in itself is great. Snapdragon 778 is a very power efficient processor, and MIUI's optimizations are always the icing on the cake. So yeah, you can get by with 1.5 days of usage on a full charge with the POCO X5 Pro with ease, without any issues. Which brings us to the pricing. Now, at the time of recording, I do not know the official pricing of the POCO X5 Pro. So there are two ways to go about this theory. From what I gather, by the way, the POCO team was very enthusiastic about the product. I feel they're going to launch it in the 25 to 30K segment, and then with offers, it will be available for under 25. At that price point, like even under 25,000, it's a great buy. I mean, like I said, performance is the major focus here, and POCO has managed to keep that in mind. Snapdragon 778 in this segment is phenomenal. I mean, of course, whether you're a gamer, a normal user, it's a processor that will last the test of time. And the design is pretty good. The display is amazing. The camera is, like, if you like those slightly vibrant images, are pretty good. The battery life is great. And of course, MIUI is, again, a personal perspective. Some people like it, some people don't. Now, once the offers go away, and if the phone stays in the segment of 25 to 30,000, then you do have a lot of competition, specifically from all the Dimensity 1300 and the Dimensity 1080 processor devices, such as the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus, the OnePlus Nord 2T, and when it comes to camera, then there's also the Pixel 6a, or if you want a more nice design, then there's obviously the Nothing Phone 1. So yeah, I mean, if the phone stays in the 25 to 30,000 segment, then it's going to be a tough competition for the POCO X5 Pro. And not to say that it still can't sell, but at the same time, it won't be the best phone under 30,000. That being said, if they can genuinely bring the price down to under 25,000, whether be it via offers or if they can actually just price it, like if they can just surprise us all and actually price this phone under rupees 25,000, I am saying this right now, the POCO X5 Pro is the best phone under rupees 25,000 that you can buy. Like, hands down, it's the best one. It checks all the boxes, and I can wholeheartedly recommend a device like the POCO X5 Pro under rupees 25,000. And yeah, that's my 1 week review. Now, of course, I am hoping for the HDR issue to be fixed, and I'm hoping for no more bugs to come in, because a lot of times what happens is that a new software updates brings issues of its own. So let's just try and be positive here. We will be doing a long-term review like we always do. But in the meanwhile, what kind of comparisons of the POCO X5 Pro would you like to see? Would you like to see it tested up against the Nothing Phone 1, or the Pixel 6a, or the Redmi Note 12 Pro? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to see it against the OnePlus Nord 2T, well, my friend Divyakant on the Hindi channel has already done a comparison of the X5 Pro with the OnePlus Nord 2T. So make sure to check out that video as well. Till then, this is Van from GTR, and I'll see you in the next one.